Hey guys, what is going on? It is Chris here. Hopefully, you guys all had a pretty good weekend, and did pretty good on Sunday. So, once again, some of our picks, our stacks weren't too bad that we showed you yesterday, but Syndergaard. Don't know what's going on with New York, man. They're just getting lit up by Miami. So a lot of people had Syndergaard, so a lot of people got hurt by him. Um, if you guys picked Shane Bieber, then wow, you guys definitely a pretty good pick there. Nobody had Shane Bieber. He had 80 fantasy points on FanDuel, so definitely a good pick there. Sale did all right, like I said, going to give up a couple runs, but definitely a couple strikeouts. And I know our stacks didn't do too bad with Cleveland. Also, a little bit of Philly didn't do too bad either. So hopefully, you guys took some of those guys. St. Louis did okay, but not the greatest. So definitely not the worst, not the best picks yesterday. So anyway, I did not play yesterday, so there is nothing to show you guys on a recap of how we did for premium. But as normal, we'd love to have you guys come join us. $10 a week for FanDuel and $10 a week separately for DraftKings. Like I said, it's only $10, and pretty easy to make that back. So definitely come join us. We'd love to have you. To get in, check out our Twitter in the comment section. Just message us and we'll get you all set up. As normal, if you guys do play the lineups, we do post them on Slack. So you will need a Slack to get the lineups and also play in double ups and 50-50s for now. So that is mostly it. Anyway, we have I think an 8-game slate here. As you see, some of the games we have 9.5 with a Baltimore game. 11 there with Texas and Seattle. Kind of a pitcher stool here in San Diego. Got a couple here in this Angel game. Don't mind the Astros. They'll be very popular. And, so for the most part, not too many good stacks out there. It's kind of a pitcher-heavy slate, so we'll have to see how it goes. A couple good stacks out there that we will get into. So anyway, let's get into it. Pitchers, Corbin versus the Mets. As I just mentioned, Miami pitching of all teams kind of shut down New York. So hopefully Corbin can do it. He was struggling a couple games ago with his control, but doing a lot better here recently, and hopefully he can continue that here. It's K per 9 versus right-handed bats is 10.3, and K per 9 versus lefties is 13.4. And projected Mets have 4 righties and 5 lefties, so that definitely is going to be good for Corbin. So I really like him. Solid cash play for sure. Most expensive on the board, but I think is one of the best picks in cash games for sure. Next is Paddock versus Arizona. As we know, pitcher ballpark. Only bad thing, though, is D-backs can hit, so I hope he doesn't get in trouble early. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I know he's doing pretty good this year, but Diamondbacks, they could get to him a little bit and rough up his pitch count. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And I think the K's will be a little bit lower here today, about 5 to 7. I think he, usually can get you 7 to 8. So I expect a little less K per 9 in this one. Diamondbacks are, not too bad here against righties, strikeout wise. So don't mind Paddock if you want to go that way. Also, Mike Soroka, again, San Francisco, another guy in a pitcher's ballpark, as we know. This dude has been pretty good, man. 0.98 ERA. That's pretty good. San Francisco, as we know, one of those teams that are up and down hitting is not the greatest. Soroka not going to strike out a ton. He might get you 5 to 6, but still get you 6 to 7 innings and controls, earned runs. Not many there. Only thing, though, walks are a little high recently. We've got 8 of them in the last 3 games. That's a little concerning, but, hopefully he does have decent for you. So all 3 of those guys are in pretty good spots. For sure, I'd pick Corbin as my true number 1 if that's the way you are going to go. All right, moving down to the stacks. Astros versus, I'm not going to say his last name. I'll mess it up. I think it's Manny. Anyway, that's his first name. Coming off the DL, has a 7.16, I think, ERA, so definitely got a stack against him. He's a lefty, and I think Houston can definitely get to him. A lot of people are going to have this Houston stack, so definitely just keep that in mind. They're in Houston, a really good place to hit. As we know, Houston is just rolling right now, so got to put them in there. Bregman, Brantley, Correa, Springer, they're not cheap, but got to get them in there. Keep in mind those guys are going to be at least 60 to 80% owned in all cash games. Next is New York versus Cashner. Cashner not looking too bad with the 4.1 recently, but as we know, Baltimore bullpen is not the greatest, so if New York can get to them, they can definitely get to that bullpen. And New York don't have all their big guys back yet, but still a pretty good team to hit. Plus, they're in Baltimore, which is a good hitter's ballpark. So don't mind Voit, Sanchez, Torres, and Hicks. Those are a couple that I'm liking. So definitely get a couple of those guys in there. Should be a good one. Stack number 3, Rangers versus Mike Leake. So Mike Leake, he could either do half decent or suck. Hopefully he does suck because that Mariner bullpen is just downright terrible. Like I said, I'm a big Mariner fan, and they suck. They're just terrible. Their bullpen is probably the worst I've ever seen it, and like I said, I've been a Mariner fan for a while. So anyway, if they can get to Leake, like I said, I don't mind it. Even if Leake goes 5 or 6 innings, that's still about 3 to 4 innings worth of one of the worst bullpens I've ever seen. So definitely don't mind stacking Texas here. Last time against Texas, he had 5 earned runs. Hopefully they can get to him here in this one, so they can get to that bullpen. We saw what Minnesota did against Seattle over the weekend. They just annihilated them. So hopefully they can get to Mike Leake in this one. So that is kind of some of the stacks I'm looking at. Also, don't mind Minnesota here taking on LA. A little bit better bullpen, but they're taking on Taylor Cole. Don't know too much about him, but I think they can definitely get to him. 4.91 here. So it looks like it's going to be Cole just for a couple of innings, and then they're probably going to bring in Pena that I just read. Cole Guima's going to probably go 2 or 3 innings, so they're going to bring in Pena. But don't mind a couple New York guys. Sorry, a couple Minnesota guys if you want to go that way. Maybe a couple Chicago guys against Jake Arrieta if you want to go that way. But for sure, I'm looking at Houston and New York. Those are the 2 top teams stack-wise that I am looking at. Arrieta has been not that great recently, as you see, 5.2, 4-4 in his ERA. So as we know, Chicago can definitely hit. So that is kind of what I'm looking at. You can also consider Brad Peacock if you want to go that way, since he should be favored in this one here. So Corbin for sure, my number 1. And then Paddock and Mike Soroka, I like those guys. A little cheaper is Brad Peacock. He might get you 30 maybe, if that. You can go cheap with him and then stack up with Houston guys if you want to go that way. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Like I said, New York guys against Cashner, a couple Texas guys against Mike Leake. I forgot to tell you, Chu, Gallo, Nomar Mazara, and Esriba Cabrera are some of the guys. Willie Calhoun, Danny Santana. Like I said, all those guys are in pretty good spots. So with 11 total, they should hopefully get a couple. Also, some people are liking Seattle stack. They are facing Minor. He has been pretty solid, but if you guys think that Seattle is going to come through, in a pretty good place to hit with a lot of wind, I think 20, 25 mile an hour winds, don't mind a couple of those guys. You can look at Edwin Encarnacion, Haniger if you want to go that way. So that is mostly it. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. As normal, we'd love to have you guys come join us. $10 a week for FanDuel and $10 a week separately for DraftKings. To get in, check out our Twitter and the comment section below. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys have a good start to your week, and we'll see you guys a little bit later.